Yes, Alison, do stay with us as we have further information coming out. Russian presidential press secretary Dmitry Peskov says that no one wants to share responsibility for the potential seizure of Russian assets with Belgium, but everyone wants to have this money. According to Peskov, there are about 210 billion euros worth of immobilized Russian assets in Europe, including 185 billion held by Belgium's Euroclear. That is why Belgium opposes the European Commission's plan for the distribution of Russian sovereign assets blocked in Europe under the guise of a reparations loan to Ukraine, as it is afraid of Russia's potential response. This comes as EU leaders are currently debating plans to use the assets as collateral for a large loan to Ukraine, although the primary hurdle remains Belgium's demand for explicit guarantees that all EU nations will share the burden of risk. Alison, what is the burden of risk in this plan, in using all these frozen Russian assets in the European Union to give Ukraine a sort of reparations loan? What risk does it cause?
Belgium, it's an important country. It has the European Commission, the European Union, and other international organizations there, but it's a small country. And it's a democratic country. The rule of law is important there. It doesn't rank highly in corruption. So it likes to play things by the book. And Russia is a big world player and could easily, sue Belgium. Belgium really does not want to be involved in an international court case with Russia over these assets, which are politically very, very sensitive. And therefore it's demanding, I think quite fairly, that the European Union members, 27 of them, share the burden of the risk. Belgium does not want to be seen to seize these assets. It doesn't want this political problem, to have this political problem. So Peskov is right in what he says, and it is a threat, but it is also a very real possibility. What happens to these assets? I mean, perhaps further along the line, when we have signed some kind of peace talk, no, we're having peace, but when we have sort of some peace deal, then there'll be a joint decision what to do with those assets, whether a part of those assets will be used for reparations to Ukraine as a loan or as a grant. But I think for Belgium, it's far too risky as a small country, a relatively small country, but a rich country, an important country, a democratic country, to take on this risk.
Yes, Alison Mutler, thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to talk to you on these matters.